I travel for work 3 or 4 times a month. After a while, every hotel becomes the same hotel. Same beige walls. Same carpet with a pattern designed to hide stains. Same ice machine humming near the elevator. Same framed abstract art that looks expensive until you really look at it. I used to find that comforting. You could drop me into a business hotel in Denver, Chicago, Dallas, or Cleveland, and I would know exactly where everything was before I ever checked in. Lobby to the left, bar past the elevators, conference rooms down the long hallway, fitness center behind the frosted glass door, pool on the lower level, rooms upstairs, always the same. Until I stayed at the Veridian. My name is Mark Ellison. I'm 42, I work in corporate compliance, and last November I flew to Minneapolis for a 3-day leadership summit that nobody wanted to attend. The hotel was attached to the convention center by a glass sky bridge. From the outside, it looked normal. Tall, clean, expensive in a boring way. The kind of place with automatic revolving doors and a lobby that smelled like citrus cleaner and recycled air. I checked in at 9:47 p.m. The woman at the front desk smiled without showing her teeth. "Room 914, she said, sliding the keycard across the counter. "Elevators are just behind you. Is the restaurant still open?" "Until 10. I looked at my watch. Cutting it close. Her smile stayed exactly the same. "You'll have time." I didn't. By the time I dropped my bag in the room and came back down, the restaurant lights were off, the chairs were stacked on the tables, and the bartender was counting cash with his back to me. So I bought a bag of pretzels from the lobby market and went back upstairs. Room 914 was exactly what I expected. King bed, desk, TV mounted too high, beige curtains, a single chair in the corner that nobody had ever sat in comfortably. I ate the pretzels, standing over the trash can like a raccoon, answered 2 emails, and tried to sleep. At 2:13 a.m., I woke up to the sound of children laughing. Not loud, not close. Just faint laughter, somewhere far below me. I opened my eyes. The room was dark, except for the red glow of the alarm clock. 2:13. I listened. There it was again. A group of children laughing, then the splash of water. The pool, I thought. Then I remembered the hotel pool closed at 10. I got up and looked out the window. The city was empty and black beneath the snow. No cars, no people, just the glow of streetlights and the blank windows of office buildings. The laughter came again. This time it sounded like it was inside the walls. I turned on the lamp. The room went quiet. I stood there for a while, feeling stupid. Old building. Pipes, vents, sound travels. That was always the explanation. In the morning, the conference started at 8. I spent 6 hours in a ballroom with no windows, listening to executives say culture and alignment like they were casting spells. At lunch, I asked the man sitting beside me if he'd heard anything weird the night before. He was from accounting. His badge said Peter, Regional Finance. Weird like what? Kids, laughing, maybe from the pool. He looked at me over his sandwich. "This hotel has a pool?" "Lower level, I think." He shook his head. "I walked the lower level this morning, just meeting rooms and storage." I laughed. "Maybe I dreamed it." "Probably," he said, but he didn't laugh. That night, after the networking dinner, I got into the elevator with 3 other people from the conference. A woman in a navy suit pressed 7. A man with a rolling suitcase pressed 11. I pressed 9. The 4th person stood in the back corner and didn't press anything. I noticed him because he was facing the wrong way. Everyone else faced the doors. He faced the back wall. He was tall, wearing a grey hotel uniform, but I couldn't see his face in the reflection. His head was slightly bowed, like he was reading something in his hands. The elevator stopped at 7. The woman got out. Then 9. My floor. The doors opened. I stepped forward. Behind me, the man in the hotel uniform said, very softly, "That isn't your floor." I turned around. The elevator doors closed. I stood there in the hallway, keycard in my hand. At first, I thought he meant I had gotten off on the wrong side of the building. Hotels like that sometimes had identical hallways branching in different directions, but the plaque on the wall said 9. The sign beside it pointed left for rooms 901, 932. My room was 9 Watorn. I walked left. The hallway was quiet, too quiet. No ice machine, no elevator ding behind me, no distant TV through the walls, just carpet under my shoes and the low buzz of fluorescent lights. I found room 915 exactly where it should have been. But my keycard didn't work. The light flashed red. I tried again. Red. I checked the number. 914. Then I noticed the door handle. It was brass. Old brass. My room had a modern black card lock. I remembered because I had tapped the keycard against it half asleep. This door had a real keyhole. Below the number 914, someone had scratched a small mark into the paint, a circle with a line through it. I backed away. Then, from inside the room, someone knocked 3 times. Slow, polite. I did not knock back. I walked quickly toward the elevators. The hallway seemed longer than before. Rooms 92, 910, 908, then 906, then 904, then 902. There should have been the elevator lobby. Instead, the hallway turned left. I stopped. There was no left turn on my floor. I had walked this hallway earlier. It ended at the elevators. Now it bent 90 degrees into another identical hallway. Same carpet, same beige walls, same abstract painting of a blue square over a red line. I looked behind me. The door marked 914 was gone. The hallway behind me stretched straight back as far as I could see. Every door was numbered 914, 914, 915, 916, all the way into the distance. My phone had no service. The Wi-Fi was connected, but nothing loaded. I told myself to stay calm. Hotels are big. Conference hotels are confusing. There had to be a service corridor, a stairwell, a fire exit. I started walking. After maybe 2 minutes, I saw a red exit sign at the end of the hall. Relief hit me so hard, I almost laughed. I pushed the door open. On the other side was the hotel pool. Not the real one. Not exactly. The room was huge. Much larger than it should have been. The ceiling disappeared into darkness, and the water stretched farther than any hotel pool had a right to. The lights under the surface glowed pale blue. Plastic lounge chairs lined the edge in perfect rows. Every chair had a white towel folded on it. The air smelled like chlorine and old carpet. At the far end of the pool, something splashed. I froze. A child giggled. "Hello?" I called. My voice echoed for too long. The water rippled. Then a red ball floated slowly into view. It drifted across the pool toward me. There were wet handprints on it, small ones. I stepped back through the exit door. The hallway was gone. Now I was standing in a hotel conference room. Rows of empty chairs faced a blank projector screen. A microphone stood alone on a small stage. On the screen, in black letters, was my name, Mark Ellison. Below it, Breakout Session B13. I stared at it. My conference badge began to vibrate against my chest. Not my phone, my badge. I unclipped it and looked down. The printed schedule on the back had changed. Yesterday, it listed breakfast, keynote, lunch, panels. Now every time slot said the same thing. 2:13 a.m. Lower level. Session B13. The projector clicked. A slide appeared. It showed a photograph of me asleep in room 913. I dropped the badge. A voice came through the ceiling speakers. It was the same woman from the front desk. Calm. Professional. "Please take your seat, Mark." I ran. I went through the nearest door and found myself in the hotel lobby. But the lobby was wrong. The ceilings were lower. The lights were brighter. The furniture looked older, like the hotel had been renovated around it and forgotten this version underneath. The front desk was empty. Behind it, hundreds of key cards hung from small hooks. Not plastic cards, actual metal keys. Each tag had the same number, 914, 95, 916. I heard the elevator ding. Across the lobby, the doors opened. Inside stood the man in the grey hotel uniform. This time, he was facing me. He had no face. Not like it had been cut off. Not like he was wearing a mask. There was simply nothing there but smooth skin where eyes, nose, and mouth should have been. He raised one hand and pointed to the elevator panel. The only lit button was B13. I turned and ran toward the revolving doors. Outside should have been the street. Instead, the doors turned me into a corridor of vending machines. Rows and rows of them. Soda machines, snack machines, ice machines, coffee machines, all humming at slightly different pitches. The lights flickered behind plastic displays full of products I didn't recognize. Every package had the same logo. A circle with a line through it, the same mark from the door. At the end of the corridor was another elevator. The doors were already open. I didn't want to get in, but behind me, every machine stopped humming at once. The silence felt like a hand closing around my throat. Then all the machines began dispensing something. Not cans, not snacks, key cards. Hundreds of them clattered into the trays, each one printed with my name. Mark Ellison. Room 942. I stepped into the elevator. The doors closed. The panel had no buttons, just a small screen. It showed my reflection. Behind me, written in condensation on the mirrored wall, were the words, "You missed your session." The elevator dropped, not descended, dropped. My stomach rose into my throat. The lights went out. The emergency brake screamed somewhere above me. Then everything stopped. The doors opened. I was on floor B13. The hallway outside was yellow. Not painted yellow, lit yellow. The walls were covered in faded hotel wallpaper, but the pattern repeated wrong, like someone had copied and pasted it too many times. The carpet was damp. The air was warm and stale. Far away, I heard applause. Not thunderous, not excited. Polite corporate applause. I walked toward it because there was nowhere else to go. The hallway opened into a ballroom. The same ballroom where the conference had been held that morning. But every chair was occupied. At least it looked that way at first. Hundreds of people sat facing the stage, perfectly still. All of them wore conference badges. All of them wore business clothes. All of them had no faces. On stage stood the woman from the front desk. Her smile was exactly the same. "Welcome back, Mark," she said into the microphone. I backed toward the doors. They closed behind me. "Today's session," she continued, "is about professional disappearance." The audience clapped politely. The screen behind her lit up. It showed security footage from the real hotel lobby. Morning. People moving around, conference guests getting coffee, and there I was, standing by the elevators, holding my suitcase. Except I wasn't there. That version of me smiled, shook hands with Peter from accounting, and walked into the ballroom for breakfast. The woman on stage turned toward me. "You were late," she said. "So we filled your place." The screen changed. Now it showed my room. A man who looked exactly like me packed my laptop into my bag. He moved naturally, calmly, like he had always been me. I screamed at the screen. Nobody reacted. The woman stepped down from the stage. "The hotel cannot have empty rooms," she said. She walked slowly down the aisle toward me. Every faceless head turned as she passed. "There are conferences every week. Guests check in, guests check out. Most never notice the spaces between floors." She stopped a few feet away. "But some people wander." I turned and shoved through the ballroom doors. This time, they opened into the lower-level service hallway of the real hotel. I knew it was real because it smelled like bleach, laundry, and cigarette smoke. A maintenance cart stood against the wall. Somewhere nearby, a real person coughed. I ran toward the sound. A man in a janitor's uniform stepped out of a storage room carrying a mop bucket. He stared at me. "Jesus, you okay?" I grabbed his arm. "Lobby," I said. "Please, I need the lobby." He looked past me down the hallway. His face changed. Not fear exactly, recognition. "You got off at B13, he whispered. Before I could answer, the elevator dinged behind us. The janitor dropped the mop handle. "Stairs," he said. We ran. He led me through a fire door, up 2 flights, then through a kitchen where prep cooks were drinking coffee and ignoring us. When we reached the lobby, it was morning. Real morning. People everywhere. Suitcases, laptops, coffee cups, name badges. The normal world had never looked so beautiful. I turned to thank the janitor. He was gone. At the front desk, a different woman was working. I told her I needed to check out immediately. She looked up my reservation. "That's strange," she said. "What?" "It says you already checked out." "When?" She frowned at the screen. "About 20 minutes ago." I looked across the lobby. Near the revolving doors, I saw myself, the other me. He was wearing my suit, carrying my suitcase, walking calmly into the morning snow. I ran after him. By the time I reached the doors, he was gone. My phone buzzed. One new email. From my own address. Subject line: "Great meeting you." The message had no body. Just an attachment. A calendar invite. Breakout Session. B13 location. Veridian Hotel. Lower level time, 2:13 a.m. Attendance, mandatory. I left Minneapolis that day. I quit my job 2 weeks later. Nobody believed the story, of course. The hotel denied having a B13 level. The convention center said all lower-level plans were public and accounted for. My company said I had behaved strangely during the conference, but they had video proving I was there all morning. The video showed me smiling, taking notes, making small talk, doing everything I was supposed to do. I don't travel for work anymore. I don't stay in hotels. I avoid elevators whenever I can. But sometimes, when I walk past a conference room in an office building, I hear it. Polite applause, very far away. And last night, a key card appeared under my apartment door. White plastic, black stripe, no hotel logo, just a room number, 940, and beneath it, printed in small grey letters: "We kept your seat."